Okay, take two. I'm going to try to make this make sense. I'm talking about, I think in one of my videos, I mentioned this about that I need to get, I've been sick for about a couple of months, had a lot of water retention, I went to the hospital, the ER 3 times, and as people kept telling me, even in there, that if you don't have health insurance, which I don't, I'm a homemaker in Texas, if you don't have health care insurance, then this is what their mantra seemed to be. All these different people in the field, whatever they were connected, not just some stranger, but people connected in the field, all these numbers they told me to call, these people kept saying, if you don't have health insurance, oh, they'll let you die. And I kind of found out that might be a little bit, that's very ominous. And I was like, whoa, I don't really believe in conspiracy theories or something like that. But I kind of found out, they never would tell me anything, and 3 times in the ER. Yeah. And they really weren't telling me much of anything. It was double talk and all that. But anyway, the thing about it is I would need insurance, health insurance. A homemaker in Texas at my age. Well, anyway, in order to get health insurance that is affordable, this is how I'm learning it. I have to have a job. Now, I'm not talking like I have to have a job to have the cash to pay for it. No, apparently, it's that if you have a job, it makes it, then they lower the amount that you pay for it to where it is affordable. Now, isn't that interesting? If you don't have any income, it's going to be sky high. Sky high, like, just say it could be different wherever you live, but sky high. And like people say, nobody has that kind of money. So somebody who doesn't have a job, it's going to be sky high. Okay, but once they get a job, they could be eligible for a big, like one of them or 2 of them said it could be 0. It could cost you nothing if you have a job making a certain amount or a certain amount or over. Does that make sense? I said the same. But, yeah, in their minds it makes sense. The people who decided that. It somehow makes sense. You have to be working in order to get affordable health. But if you're not working, you're going to get even worse than anybody. You're going to get higher than any of the rest, apparently. Allegedly. That's what I've been told. Okay. And I called several times to the appropriate people. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So I need to get the job. Okay, I have to have a job. And because of my health, the reason I'm going is because of a health condition that's gone on for 2.5 months. I went to the ER 3 times in the first 2 months. Well, let's see, almost 1 month. And it was pretty bad, and still it's working on getting better. It's really slow. I can't tell you how many people I saw outside of the ER. The ER really wasn't much help. It's that I had to keep going and going and going to places to find somebody who would tell me what was wrong with me. I'm serious. They weren't going to tell me that the ER 3 times. It was a bunch of double talk. And one woman, actually, I called, all these runaround numbers, as I call them. They give you these numbers, call this place, or they, and those people say, call this, call this, call this. One of them, she actually answered the phone, and she said, this is what they did to you. I'm serious. She didn't say her name. She didn't say my name. Like, hello, and then my name. Nothing. She just went immediately into it, so I went with her flow. She let me know that I was basically, asked the way I summed it up, she let me know that I was a pawn in their game. Wow. And then another one finally got it exactly 2 months on the anniversary of it, 2 months. A woman, I went to drop something off, and she was a nurse there. She came out and explained it to me. Came outside, chased me down. I wasn't asking. I was just dropping off those papers because I'd seen somebody there before and I didn't have them, so I just dropped them off. She came out there and she told me, a lot more about what the game actually is. I'm like, unbelievable that there's such a thing as this kind of game. Now, it could be everybody else's conspiracy theories, or You know, the beginning, like I said, well, I thought it was, could be something, could be, allegedly. You know, like a political view. You know, from the ER, they just had a political agenda or something. And they wanted to make it known, we're not going to tell you anything, what to do, what not to do. And we're just, or like it turned out, to say at the very end of it, at the ER, the third time, is to say, let your doctor tell you. My doctor said, I did not order those tests. I'm not going to do their job for them. So it was a little, back in, you know, some kind of thing between them, some kind of, you know, who's more dominant and who can say what and who can tell somebody what to do. That's not my position. I'm not here for to be in your game. Maybe that was the game they're talking about. You see. Sick. But anyway, no matter what, I have to have a job to get this insurance that will then be affordable. May even cost me nothing. But can you believe this? But I have to do the special enrollment. If I get approved, then it would be on and on and on. It's like, oh my goodness. Well, I don't have a problem with working. I'm a homemaker. What do you think I do all the time? I mean, seriously, homemaking is not like you just sit around, you know, like somebody wants to say as a stereotype. Stereotypes are bad. Of just sitting around all day watching TV and eating bonbons. Come on, get real. Grow up, people. But I have no problem. I used to work. I was working full-time, being a student, and a homemaker. That was pretty much a big chunk of my life. Okay. So, anyway, but the thing about it is, with this health condition, I'm like, can I actually do it anymore? Plus, the job that I would have to be where I can work as much as I can at that day, and then rest, you know, like work from home. Nope, wasn't going to happen. And, try getting a work from home job. Really, seriously, you would think there would be plenty. Shouldn't even get one through an agency that's what they do. I'm serious. Oh my goodness, and it's not because there's something bad on mine, or my age, or anything that I know of. I mean, it could be. It's just that they kind of laugh at that, like somebody's going to give you a job. Anybody. I mean, anybody a job, not me. It's not pointing at me. That was strange. But, these days, seriously. And I'm qualified for quite a bit of jobs because I was a career student. You know, and studied, did a lot. I've done, in the meanwhile, I did a lot of kinds of jobs, part-time, full-time, whatever it was. It was especially in medical. You know, billing, replace, it was kind of like a fill-in for, what do they call them? An interim, like office manager, or surgery scheduler, or billing. I did a lot in billing too. Did not do coding, but I did billing, and medical billing. Well, I know a lot of the codes, or knew. But anyway, I mean, I did so many different things. You think they'd find me something? But anyway, it came down to that. I would have to do something that I am an independent contractor. So I watch these people who do these delivery gig workers, and they're on YouTube, and they call themselves gig tubers. Some of them do. But they do. I've been watching them since probably around 2020 or before, and off and on. And I kind of like watching, see what they do, how they do it. So, and I always thought, you know, I'd like to try that, just to try it, just to, you know, have a little bit of getting out, doing things, you know, feeling like I'm actually a part of society instead of just being at home. And, you know, just being at home, like it's not really just being at home. You got to go and do things. But something to where, yeah, I'm a part of something else besides home. And anyway, so it kind of fit. Although the person who was supposed to help me to try to find a job, a part-time, you know, that's their thing, is to help people, try to discourage me from it. Anything that I said, this person would discourage me and would say, I don't want to discourage you, but, and I'm thinking, no, that's all you've done so far, is discourage me. That was that person's word, discourage. Okay, so anyway, I have never been one to listen to what other people, seriously, in these things, because it's like they possibly have their own agenda. Actually, I knew one that did that with several people and even bragged to me that she did. Oh man, she was an awful woman. Bragged to me about how she treated people too. Oh my goodness. But anyway, it's getting really hot in here. Okay, I don't know how much later it is, but it was burning up in here. But the AC is on 73. And it is 73 in the house. What the? Yeah. And this room, the vent is on, so this is the room that's usually the coldest. No. So anyway. But the dogs were outside. They were burning up. And, yeah. Anyway. But I didn't really want to give any background too much because I'm tired of that whole topic to it. And, you know, let's see, 2.5 months now? Well, no, just over 2 months. Really. Well, it's actually 2.5 months since around that time. Since I started, the problem started for me. And, you know, me just wondering what was going on. Anyway. But to this point, I actually tried one day this week, earlier this week. Today's a Saturday, so I just was curious, you know, and I've been talking over, you know, thinking about it, talking over with Adam, and he's like, when are you going to try? Well, I've been sick for 2 months, okay? So, I decided just to try it the other night, and it was at nighttime. It was like right before midnight. And I said, well, I wonder what kind of questions they ask. Or do they run a background check? What do they want? I'm a victim of identity theft, so that's a good question for me to know, to answer. And so I was looking online, I just said, I'll just fill this stuff out. And I was like, what? I got the job all of a sudden. I'm like, I know I've heard them say that the applications are ridiculously, that anybody can apply, blah, 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 but it did do a background check. And all of this, and I wanted to get, I've been thinking about it for a while, and I had actually looked at, you know, some of the people that do videos, they talk about these, you know, their bags that they use for delivery, and they talk about the wagons they buy, you know, because some of them do groceries. I had thought that, for me, maybe the best would be the grocery thing, and, you know, but I had tried to ask before about, you know, people that have disabilities. Like I hurt my left knee really bad, and back in 2020, and ever since I've been thinking about this, my knee's been hurting. Some say it's psychosomatic, but no, I was playing a game with my dog. He had a little surgery, and he was slowly getting better, and I was playing a little game with him, and it hurt my knee. Go figure. And one of my dogs. So anyway, I'm not good at walking up steps. I don't even walk upstairs here, you know, because since I did that with the knee, and I don't have health insurance, didn't then, and plus it was 2020, you know, 2020, February 2020. And so anyway, I wanted to see if they have accommodations. The one I called, I could not get an answer from them. It was unbelievable the way they spoke. They said that things like, they have to have my street address, my full name really? And street address, and my email, and they had my phone number. Or they wanted my phone number because they didn't have that caller ID there. And I'm like, what? No, I would not give them to them because that was suspicious. That's red flags all over the place. They need that just to answer a question. And the question was, do they have accommodations? Or how do I contact Human Resources as an American with disabilities? They would not answer. They said that they had to have more than one of them said this. They had to have all my information like that for their safety. They're in a country across the globe, and I don't think they need it for their safety at all. Nobody here would need it for their safety. They had to have all my information. No, I think it's something different than that. Okay, I'm a social behavioral scientist. None of that, and I'm genius IQ. Seriously, I could pretty much figure out that's not normal. That is not something they would need. It's my full name, street address, phone number. So at least they didn't ask for my social security. I was surprised. And email, all of that. Okay. Yeah. No, for their safety. What do they think they're going to be able to do? They didn't have the phone number. What kind of safety? Seriously, I mean, does it make any sense to anybody? I know how it sounds to me as a victim of identity theft. Okay? I am a victim of identity theft. I know what this sounds like to me. Okay, seriously. Anyway, it was unbelievable. So I didn't even bother calling this other one, and didn't bother. Well, I think I did try other ones to ask some questions, and it was just like it's just as bad. I just gave up before even trying more than one, maybe one time. Oh my goodness! But apparently, what the answer I finally got with the first one was something like, "Well, if you can't do it, just get somebody in the neighborhood to help you." Really? Like to carry water bottles up to the second or third or however many floors of stairs. Just get some guy in the neighborhood to help me where I'm delivering. Really? Or he said, or just when you look at them and you see what it has, if it has something heavy, just don't take it. This is what they do? Okay. Well, maybe so. That's not how you see what's on. I mean, really, it seems like the most you'll get as far as tutorial or training is to watch these YouTube videos. And speaking of that, I got to say something about YouTube videos. But to do that, and some of them clickbait. One of them especially, she clickbaits. She says this is what she's going to talk about. She's going to give a tutorial, and it's just her doing her usual job, and nothing like a tutorial to me. I don't do tutorials. I don't give anybody any form of advice. Nothing. So, it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing, in my view. But anyway, about the tutorials, it's like roadblocks keep getting in my way. You would think it would be easy, okay? I get this job. I say, okay, I start. But I wanted to get this bag that would have the cup holders for cups on the bag. For drinks, the sodas or whatever the person orders, and it's actually on the bag, and that was supposed to be in today, okay, but in the meanwhile today, I've never used the GPS on my SUV, and I bought my SUV new. It doesn't even have 9,000 miles on it, and it's a 2019. I just had it detailed too, and then I had to go out and detail because I have dogs that the dog hair, and they detailed it, but they didn't get all the dog hair up, and that's not appropriate to have dog hair on stuff. So I went out with a lint brush. That's what my mind said to do. I went out with the lint brush and got the dog hair out of the back part of my SUV and the back seat, front seat. Yeah, it worked really great. So my car's been detailed, all that. My car, I always say car when it's an SUV. Anything, I say car. But then today, I wanted to try to do the GPS. And I remember something when I bought it. They said that there's a different way to do it, and all that, and everything. Well, as it turns out, it was a mess trying to get it from the dealership, the information, and one guy the end of it, he said, well, they wanted me to come in so they could show the guy, show me and to look at it, actually look at it so he can figure out why mine is different. No, the word that kept coming to my mind was incompetent. But not really, just incompetent. He's so persistent in me coming in. And I said, why would I want to come in? I said, I'm calling you on the phone. You can't tell me, you can't walk me through over the phone. It was 102 degrees, by the way. I didn't feel like driving way far away from here to go in just so he can tell me how to do the GPS. Seriously? So they all this, spoke to this person, that person. Finally, they gave me a person. And one woman, she was, dealership, did I mention? And the guy, he said, yeah, he was probably just thinking about himself and how to make it easier for himself. And I said, when he should be thinking about how to make it easier for the customer. Okay, seriously, I mean, that's what it means. You know, drive way far over there. You know, I always say blaring down, the sun blaring down. Why do I say blaring down? Don't know. I asked Adam, he said, I've never heard that. He's known me over 40 years, but I don't know where I got that from. But anyway, but the sun my SUV has an air conditioner. It's always running, really, except for in wintertime, the heater is. But, so that's not it. It's just that the sun is there. And the glare off of it, the heat, you know, that radiates off of it, even with the air conditioner on, no. Because this man is too lazy to, can't say it over the phone, really? To make it easier on himself. Yeah, that would not be a good place to buy a SUV ever again. I didn't do it. Adam bought it. You know, Adam checked him out and all that. It was a gift to me, I should say. And anyway, wow. Like I said, it doesn't even have 9,000 miles on it. I bought it new. And so all these kind of these little roadblocks were getting in the way. They keep sending me notice saying you can start, little text saying you can start delivering. Well, I want to get this, this bag. Oh, before I forget to connect, what was it about YouTube? Is the last guy I spoke to there, he insisted that I could find how to do my GPS by looking at a YouTube video. I said, I've done that. It does not have that one for that model, and that one that doesn't have this one thing. And he said to look under, to search under a different term. So I haven't done that yet. No, not yet. But anyway, I was going to go out tomorrow morning. It's supposed to be real cool. It might rain, but it's going to be cool. I just wanted to try it. But that bag that was supposed to be delivered today has not been delivered. Okay? Okay, and this is, it was supposed to be delivered today, Saturday. I wanted to start first of the week, tomorrow, Sunday, and start going out there and doing deliveries. Or at least try one. And Adam's supposed to go with me so he can watch, and just watch it, because I want to see if somebody goes with me. Doesn't have to be him, somebody I know. And then this is supposedly okay for that to be the case, for safety reasons. It actually says for safety reasons they allow it. So anyway, but it hasn't been delivered. And I went online to check, to how you can track your order. And it was kind of weird because it was out for delivery. I looked through the steps and everything. It was at that location, then processed, and the delivery person picked him up at noon, 10 minutes after noon. 10 minutes. When I finally checked, I was looking at it and I looked at my clock, it said 11 minutes after 10 p.m. Okay, so 10 hours later, and they had no updates since then. That worried me for that person, that delivery person. Seriously. 10 hours later, there's no updates. There's no saying. I don't know if it usually gives an update, like to say, that they're now at this location, or they did all before then, but they're out for delivery. And Adam said, I told Adam, I said that he watches all these shows on what is it called, investigative discovery or something like that. Investigation discovery, I don't know. It was spooky, not spooky, but scary. The people, yeah, I'm leaving out those words, but yeah, you often hear about somebody's doing this and that, and then they never show up or whatever, and I don't watch them. I can hear them, though, when I'm on my computer. I can hear them, and I'm not always on my computer, but because he's been watching them like marathon lately, always. So I wonder if he's not seen any of them. But yeah, I mean, it made me worry. And he said, well, maybe they picked him up, he or she, whoever, picked up the orders at 10 minutes after noon, and just felt it's just too hot. Because the temperature was probably already 100, and the heat index is going to be like 110 and up. The highest I've seen is 117 this year, and we've had it starting to earlier this year, and it's like it's given us a few days here and there, but that's it, since sometime in June, and this is mid-July. Yeah, it's been pretty hot. Oh man. And it's always hot in Texas here. Anywhere in Texas, really. In the summer. May, June. But usually it starts in July, and then it's July, August, and even September, sometimes October. We have these 100-plus temps. Sometimes. It's just unbelievable. That's why I want to start do just the morning. All I want to do is just, for one thing, they tell me is, once you get a job, to call them back and see how they're going to process it. Like if I say, I'm expecting to make this much this month, that's what one of them told me. If you say you're expecting to earn this much this month, then, and I said, well, what happens if I don't make that much, earn that much this month? And they said that they work on it, and you might have to pay all of it back, what they give toward the percentage of how much they deduct and all that stuff from the cost of the insurance. Okay, I'm not at that step. So, and really, some of it's kind of confusing anyway. But, so I don't know, I want to get started and then see if I can actually do it. That's the big thing, but I haven't been well enough. I'll say this, I have been very swollen. And the last one that came basic, she came running out of the building to talk to me. And talk to me out, I'm sitting in my SUV and she's standing right there. And she said that they should have actually drained the fluid off of me. I don't know if she used drain or whatever. But I had a lot, and I still have a lot of water retention. And it was unbelievable. It was like carrying around a bowling ball underneath my navel. Felt like that whole area felt like I had a bowling ball there. And it was like even the pressure of it. When I took at university, I took bowling for my PE classes. I don't know why. I think it was because that was the one that I didn't feel I'd be out in the heat burning up and all that. And in Texas, But so I know what a bowling ball feels like, holding one. And that felt like it was just pressure so bad. And now it's gone down quite a bit. And but no, not to any of anything that they did, any of these places. The 3 times I went to ER, nothing. I was swollen. It's like it was crickets or double talk. They in there for not even a whole minute, then they run back out. And a different one would come in for like not even a whole minute, and they run back out. It's like, come on, people. Like that one said. And then this other one, she said, yeah. Basically, her attitude was basically, yeah, that's what it is. And she said she heard a lot of these stories like this, and each time people would tell me, we've heard a lot of stories like that. So yeah, I don't feel alone, but it's a shame that anybody has to feel like that. But anyway, the roadblocks that have been going on, some people might say, that it's trying to tell you something, don't do this kind of job. you know. But I was telling Adam about that, and I said, the thing about it is, I have just as many telling me to. So I'm not a person who believes in signs like that, you know. I'm just not. And I'm not one that believes in so much of that of having a calling. And I actually remember watching one time, you know, how they have the Christian shows, Christian movies sometimes. And one of them said that thinking in those kinds of terms was wrong. Okay, the Christian, not shows, like movies that go, you know, classics. And one of them said that. And I was like, okay. You know, I did not know that. But, I like that one they called The Chosen. It wasn't in any of those, but anyway, that Chosen is real popular. The guy on YouTube is one of the whatevers, the bigwigs, I guess. I've known since I've been on since almost 9 years. Next month it'll be 9 years. Okay, kind of rambling, but I do want to have a little bit of this ramble out of me about why I'm doing it and all that kind of stuff. I think I may have had, like I said, a video before. I had more than one channel, so over all these years. So I think I put it on this one, maybe not. But all that kind of information, and just the struggle of getting to it, it's not the application or anything that was a struggle for me. It was these you know, like just trying to do the GPS. I mean, I use GPS on my cell phone. Okay, I know how to do that. Okay, I've known how to use maps since they started coming out many years ago. I've had my phone for over 20 years. And, you know, my phone number. I've had a phone for over 20 years. Not the same one. But you get the picture. So I know how to use them. You know, it's nothing new to me. But that particular GPS is. And it does have, and it has to be done a special way. Of course, like Adam often says about what happens to me. He says, it can never be normal, can it? I'm not one like these people, too many I know are histrionic. They basically love the drama. And they create drama for people, themselves and for other people. Me, I'm like, I want to be drama free. I want to be away from it, but something like this happens. Of course, mine can't be normal. It was like this GPS. Of course, it can't be normal. You just plug in. Nope, mine doesn't even have the button to do so. You know, seriously, even they all said, yeah, it doesn't, you know, the last one. So yeah, that one doesn't have that button. But you could find a different way. It's through the Bluetooth. Okay, whatever. You know, we have to go in and select this and learn how to do that. And learn can't be normal, can't be easy. Not happening. And the other, like, I actually worry for this delivery person. Like I told Adam, I said, can you imagine if it's your person in your life and you look and try to see, like on a GPS or something, where they are and they just disappear? Well, this is just a delivery person for me, but there's nothing since 12/10 when they picked it out and took it out for delivery. And that little thing, you know, it shows each step of the way, the button, I don't know what you call it. But the little circle there is just right there close to delivery. And where is it? Right now it's probably close to midnight. So, anyway, enough of those to ramble. I'm going to talk to you on another video. Bye.